Hi, my name's Jared. I'm with Nebraskans for Medical Marijuana, also known as Nebraskans for Sensible Marijuana Laws, and this is a video for folks who want to help us gather signatures for our petition to put a constitutional amendment on the 2020 ballot to provide the right for patients to use medical marijuana with the recommendation of their healthcare provider. So thanks so much for being part of this important effort. Um, so this guide's going to go through how to collect signatures and important rules. But first, I want to just say quickly what our campaign is attempting to do. There's basically two phases to this process. The first phase that we're in now is collecting enough valid voter signatures from Nebraskans to qualify the amendment for the ballot in 2020. So we need about 130,000 valid signatures by July of next year of 2020. And the second phase of the campaign will be talking with voters and persuading them to vote in favor of the amendment so that it becomes part of the Nebraskan Constitution. So why is following these guidelines so important? Well, number one, it can be an actual crime if you violate some of the rules under the criminal statute and laws of Nebraska. So you want to make sure that you're not doing anything that could get you in trouble. But also, it could jeopardize the whole campaign and perhaps invalidate other signatures and jeopardize some of the work that other circulators have done. So it's really, really important that you guys listen and understand the rules before you go out and collect signatures. So thank you for tuning into this. The first thing we'll just go over are some key terms. So a circulator is basically you. If you're volunteering to help us collect signatures, you're a circulator, and that's someone who's collecting signatures for this petition. It's important to know that each petition is assigned to only one circulator, so you can't share your petition with multiple circulators. Each petition is assigned to only one. A constitutional ballot initiative, that's what we're all working towards. This would be a ballot initiative that amends the Nebraska State Constitution if approved by a majority of voters in an election next year. Nebraskans for Medical Marijuana / Nebraskans for Sensible Marijuana Laws, that's the name of our committee, our campaign committee. A notary is an individual certified by the state of Nebraska to witness legal oaths, and once you finish the petition sheet, a notary has to sign that sheet for it to be authorized and submitted back to the campaign. We'll go over that more in a minute. The object statement is the summary of the initiative printed at the top of the petition, which must be read to each person who signs it. So this is really important. We'll talk a little bit more about this, but that's what the object statement is. The petition is the piece of paper that's being signed, and we'll show you that in a second. And a signer is just a Nebraskan resident who adds their signature to the petition. Okay, so this is the petition that we're using to gather signatures for the initiative. And at the top left corner, you'll see the petition number. That's just to help us stay organized and know where the petitions are. And then you'll see the next thing is the object statement. You must, again, always read this object statement out loud to the person signing before they sign. So you really want to get in the habit of that. You'll also see a place to enter the county for the petition. So each petition can only be associated with a single county. So you want to make sure that you're only collecting signatures on this petition from people who live in the same county. So you'll have different petition sheets for each county that you're gathering signatures for. And then down below, of course, you see where the actual signatures and the voters' information is recorded. So you want to make sure that all of this information is filled in completely and legibly, especially the address. So you want to make sure that you witness the person sign it, and also make sure and check that all the information is completed in these boxes here. If it's incorrect, you can cross it out carefully and go to the next line. Okay, this is the bottom half of the petition sheet, and you want to save this part until the very end, until you're ready to submit the petition back to the campaign. So don't fill this out until it has at least 10 signatures or so filled in, and you're ready to send it back to us. And you don't want to fill this part out until you found a notary. So a notary is someone who's licensed by the state to sign official documents, and we'll talk a little bit more about them in a minute. But once you're in the presence of a notary, then you can fill this part out, and there's one part that you complete and one part that the notary completes. So you will fill in your circulator name, the number of signatures on the sheet, and then your address and information where those arrows indicate. The notary is going to fill out the bottom section, the very bottom, as well as the county in which the sheet's being notarized. Just to emphasize, the object statement must be read aloud to each signer, so this is what you have to say to each person who signs the petition. The object of this petition is to amend the Nebraska Constitution to provide the right to use, possess, access, and safely produce cannabis and cannabis products and materials for serious medical conditions as recommended by a physician or nurse practitioner. Again, really important that you say this out loud because if you have the notary sign your petition and you didn't actually read the petition out loud to the signer, then you're actually committing a misdemeanor crime. So you want to make sure that you do this and get in the habit, even if the person's already heard the statement before, if they protest, tell them that it's just a requirement that circulators have to adhere to. Okay, the steps for collecting a signature. The first thing you want to do is explain that you're collecting signatures to put a constitutional amendment for medical marijuana on the ballot in 2020. It's important to note in many cases that signing does not mean the voter has to support medical marijuana. So someone may support it being on the ballot for voters to decide, but they may not support the issue, and that's okay. They can still sign. It doesn't mean they necessarily support the issue. Next, you want to inform them that they must be a registered voter for their signature to count. If they're not registered, they may register online if they have a driver's license. If they don't have a driver's license, they can submit a form by mail, but please note that you cannot register them to vote for them. Next, ask them what county they live in. They may only sign a petition that is associated with the county that they live in, so that you can find the correct county, ask them what county they live in. Read the object statement aloud to them. Again, very important. Witness them sign, print their name, and fill in the required information legibly. And check to ensure that the signature name and information have been entered correctly. Again, you can cross out a line with any inaccurate information and use a new line as a replacement. Once the petitions are, once you've gathered signatures for the petition, the process for submitting petitions back to the campaign is really important so that we have them safely stored and tracked. So a petition sheet doesn't have to have all 20 signature lines filled out to be signed and submitted, but it is preferable to have as many as possible, say at least 10, so that we can save the campaign on printing costs. So try to do that. The circulator must complete the oath at the bottom of the petition sheet in the presence of a notary public. So you're going to find a notary public oftentimes at a local bank or a post office. You can contact a coordinator or contact a campaign if you have trouble finding a notary. We can help with that. Return the signed and notarized petitions to a volunteer coordinator that you received them from, or you can mail the completed petitions to the P.O. Box shown here, 57335 in Lincoln. And please report all postage costs. If you have receipts, please send those as well to info@nebraskamarijuana.org to ensure that we can comply with campaign finance laws for the cost of those mailings. Some other important information is that all circulators must be at least 18 years of age, must be 18 years old. Circulators must witness every signature added to their petition, so you have to be physically present and watch the signing happening. Circulators must read the object statement on the petition to each signer before they sign. Again, we've been over that. It's very important. Voters cannot sign the petition more than once, but accidental duplicate signatures do not invalidate all instances of a person's signature, so duplicates will be removed when the petitions are verified by the state. So it's not a big deal if they've already signed and they're not sure if they've signed, but they can't count more than once, obviously. A circulator may collect signatures on private property provided that a person controlling the premises, say a landlord or a manager of the business, has given permission. A circulator may not collect signatures within 200 feet of a polling place, and a circulator may not offer anything of value to a signer in return for their signature, and to do so is a crime under Nebraska law. So a few tips to help you be more successful in gathering signatures. It's great to have a clipboard or some hardback surface that you can carry to make it easy for people to sign, and you want to use blue or black ink pens. You can also find a petition circulator flyer, which can be taped to the back of a clipboard on the volunteer page of our website, so you can print that out and tape it, and that'll help grab attention to what you're doing. It's better to ask potential signers, do you want to help put medical marijuana on the ballot, rather than asking, do you support medical marijuana? Because again, someone may support it being on the ballot for voters to decide, doesn't mean they necessarily support the issue. When you have multiple petitions for different counties, you want to keep them in alphabetical order by county so that it's easier to locate the correct one when the signer tells you what county they live in. And it's best to just avoid arguments with those who aren't willing to sign. It's just, if they're not going to sign, then just move on to other folks who will. And you can refer anyone who wants more information about medical marijuana or about the campaign to our website, nebraskamarijuana.org. And just stay motivated. I think it's helpful to set some personal signature gathering goals maybe a little friendly competition with your friends and ask them to go along as well. So that's really important so that we can keep marching towards our goal here. And of course, please always represent the campaign with integrity and professionalism. Great, so thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, you can reach our state coordinator, David, or the general campaign contact is listed here as well. And good luck gathering signatures. Thanks again.